The message arrived at 7:14 p.m. A soft vibration on the counter. A glow against the dark tile. My wife was in the shower, steam curling under the door, when her phone lit up. I didn't mean to look, but the name was impossible to miss. Evan. And the words were worse. I miss your smile. For a moment I just stood there, breathing too evenly, like my body was trying to convince itself that nothing was wrong. But something in me shifted. Quietly, sharply, as if a thread I didn't know was stretched inside me finally snapped. I picked up the phone, typed with hands that didn't shake. Come over, my husband isn't home today. I watched the message send, a small, calm click of finality. Behind the door, the water kept running. She was humming, lightly, carelessly, while I stared at the device that suddenly felt radioactive in my hand. Then the typing bubbles appeared. On my way. No hesitation, no guilt. My chest didn't burn, my eyes didn't sting. It was colder than that, cleaner. I placed her phone back on the counter exactly where she left it. Then I went downstairs, turned on a single lamp, sat in silence, waited. And when the doorbell finally rang, sharp, bright, undeniable, I heard the water stop upstairs. Then the shower door open, then her footsteps. And I knew, without seeing her face yet, that everything was already broken. She appeared at the top of the stairs wrapped in a towel, hair dripping, skin still flushed with warmth, but her eyes were already frozen. "Who's that?" she asked, too casually, as if casual could save her now. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. The doorbell rang again, harder this time. Her shoulders tightened, just a twitch, but enough. I stood, my movements slow, deliberate, almost detached from myself. This moment, I'd replay it later. I'd dissect every breath, every micro-expression. But right then, it only felt like quiet clarity. She hurried down the stairs, towel clutched at her chest, voice trembling just slightly as she said, "Don't open it. Let me just—" Too late. I opened the door, and there he was. Evan, her coworker, the man she'd insisted was just friendly, the man who apparently missed her smile enough to drive 14 minutes through evening traffic without a second thought. He saw me first, then he saw her behind me, and everything inside him collapsed. "Oh," he stuttered, stepping back. She said. I let him drown in his own excuses. Behind me, she whispered my name, a small, broken sound, a sound of someone realizing they'd run out of lies. But I didn't confront, didn't accuse, didn't even look at her, because this wasn't the moment for answers, not yet. This was just the moment the mask slipped, and I saw both of them clearly for the first time. A wife with secrets dripping off her skin like the water still sliding down her legs, and a man who thought he knew her smile better than I ever could. I didn't throw him out, didn't shout, didn't demand explanations or confessions. Instead, I stepped aside. "Come in," I said. 2 words, cold, precise, designed to make them both sweat. Her face drained of color, his hands shook. They entered like people walking into a courtroom. I offered no details, no questions, just sat on the couch while they stood in front of me, 2 statues carved from panic. "Sit," I said finally. They did. And then, nothing. No interrogation, no theatrics, just silence. The kind of silence that strips the truth bare with time alone. Her breathing grew shallow. His gaze stayed on the floor. Inside my chest, something shifted. Not pain, not anger, strategy. I watched them crumble while my mind worked quietly, assembling the fragments I had ignored for months. Late-night work messages, sudden hobbies that didn't fit her, that strange, distant softness in her voice when she talked about her day. Pieces, always pieces. And now they aligned. But suspicion wasn't enough. I needed the truth. Not for closure, but for precision. So after sending him away with a single sentence, "We're not done," I spent the next days collecting evidence. Phone records, deleted messages restored from backups, screenshots, email timestamps, shared rides he never knew I could see, receipts for lunches she claimed were with the team. Every detail was another thread pulled. Every discovery, another crack widening in the life I thought I knew. I stayed calm, colder than ice. Outwardly, nothing changed. I kissed her forehead, went to work, came home on time. But inside, I was tracing the architecture of betrayal, mapping the exact shape of the lie. And when I finally had everything, a full timeline, a spreadsheet, printouts, screenshots, even a recording, his voice saying her name the way a man only says it when it's forbidden, I knew the moment had arrived. The truth wasn't just exposed, it was sharpened. She was making tea when I placed the folder on the table, a simple manila folder. Ordinary, harmless looking, deadly. "What's this?" she asked, voice thin. "Open it." She hesitated. Then she did. The first page was a screenshot of that message. "I miss your smile." Page after page, her face crumpled. Tears gathered but didn't fall. She was too stunned to even cry properly. I can explain," she whispered. "I know," I said. But my voice didn't sound like my own. It sounded like something colder, clearer, beyond hurt. She kept flipping pages until she reached the transcript. The recording. Evan's voice. Her voice. Soft, intimate, undeniable. Her hand covered her mouth. Her knees buckled. And still I sat there quietly, watching her unravel. "Say something," she begged. "I already know everything," I replied. She collapsed into the chair across from me. Her breath came in sharp, uneven bursts. Her world was falling apart, and she realized I wasn't going to catch it. "Are you leaving me?" she whispered. Silence answered her. A silence colder than any words could ever be. I slid my phone across the table, a message thread already open, Evan's name at the top. She stared at it, confused, then terrified. "You're going to tell him?" I said. Her throat closed. "Tell him what?" "That it's over. That you used him. That he meant nothing." Her eyes widened, panic flaring. Why would I say that?" "Because it's the truth." And, I continued, "you're going to do it on speaker." Her breath stopped. I wasn't shouting. I wasn't angry. I was controlled, measuring every syllable. She dialed with trembling hands. When he answered, hopeful, soft, I watched her flinch at the sound of his voice. Then she said the lines I had written for her. No emotion, no warmth, just a brutal, cold dismissal that shattered him in real time. His voice cracked. She cried, but I stayed perfectly still. When the call ended, she buried her face in her hands. And I realized she finally understood. I wasn't punishing her. I was dismantling the world she built behind my back, piece by piece, until there was nothing left but truth. She reached for me. Instinct, desperation. I stepped back. Her hands fell, empty. "Can we fix this?" she whispered. "No." One word, soft, final. Her tears came then, the real ones, shaking, gasping. But I felt nothing, just a quiet awareness settling inside me, like dust finding its place after a collapse. "I loved you," she sobbed. "I know," I said, "just not enough to stop." The house felt different now, larger, quieter. She watched me walk to the door with a face carved from regret. "Where are you going?" she whispered. "Away from the ruins." I didn't slam the door, didn't look back. I didn't need to. Some truths echo on their own, and hers was still echoing when the cold night swallowed me whole.